What's up, traders? Welcome back to my weekly index market recap. Core CPI report, which is seen as more indicative of the underlying trends by filtering out some of the more volatile elements, came in at 0.3% as expected. So, this tells us that inflation isn't surging, so there's nothing to deter any interest rate cuts for now, especially as we head into the September Federal Reserve meeting. At 9:30 during the equities market open, we had a bullish SMT inside this internal range. We had CISC. However, due to President Trump's post on social media, we did get a fake out before price pumped up again and created all-time high. PPI dropped some serious volatility into the tape, with headline and core PPI both jumping 0.9%, the sharpest rise in years. That hot inflation print immediately cooled market expectations for a bold Fed cut in September. Unemployment claims came out a little better than expected, with fewer people filing for benefits. That basically tells the market the jobs picture is still strong. On the chart, you'll notice how the news release created a quick liquidity sweep. Price spiked both ways before settling back into the range, which is a classic news reaction. At 8:30, we had a bearish SMT, an entry, as well as the TP being hit, which is the equilibrium of the internal range. For us traders, the takeaway isn't the number itself, but how price delivered around that time. ICT always teaches that scheduled news is often used to engineer liquidity grabs, and this was a clean example of that. Retail sales held firm with a 0.5% rise in July. Consumer sentiment fell hard, with a pre-lim Michigan index dropping to 58.6 and the inflation expectations jumped to 4.9%. That kind of pessimism creates emotional friction. Real money is still being spent, yet the nerves are fraying. On the chart, this data triggered a classic liquidity run. Price flashed higher on the retail strength narrative, then reversed sharply as sentiment data sinks confidence. Now, to me, Friday's price action was actually an A plus. We started the morning session with a clean bearish SMT. Price was in premium, respecting this hourly CB before dumping at the end of the morning session towards discount and more specifically into Sunday's open. So to wrap things up, we ended the day looking like we might be respecting this BISI and order block on the daily level. So from an ICT perspective, each of these releases gave us textbook liquidity runs, quick spikes to clear stops before price rebalance. And that's the real lesson here. Don't chase the number, but watch how price delivers around the news. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and drop a comment with what setups you're watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until then, see you in the next recap.